We are live from Carl Engel Field on the campus of Riverdale High School in Fort Myers, Florida for some Friday night football action. And it's the Lehigh Senior Lightning taking on the Riverdale Raiders in the annual Battle of the Bell contest. Hello everyone, and thank you for listening in to the Rush Radio Network for Battle of the Bell 2015. This is Nick Rush giving you the commentary of tonight's game, and this is one of the most exciting events of the regular season for both of these teams as they hope to represent their school by winning the Bell. For those of you who may be new to this rivalry, or you might just need a reminder, let's catch you up on what the Battle of the Bell is. Once a year, the Riverdale and Lehigh Varsity football teams square off, and the winner of the contest keeps the traveling trophy, and the school gets to keep the bell until the two teams play each other again. Riverdale has been the proud holder of the prize for 3 consecutive seasons, and they're hoping that they can make it 4 tonight. The 3-6 Riverdale team has struggled to pick up wins all season long, and they currently find themselves in a 2-game losing streak to enter the rivalry contest. Most recently, they were blown out by the Miami Westminster Christian Warriors last Friday night here at RHS, where Westminster ended their regular season with a 42-6 final score. The Lehigh Senior Lightning enter Carl Engel Field with a 2-6 win-loss record, and they are still trying to get over an upsetting loss to the Estero Wildcats last Friday night, which would have given Lehigh a playoff spot within Class 6A District 11 if they won. Moments away from kickoff, Riverdale is going to be receiving the ball first to open your first half of play. It's the Battle of the Bell 2015. Kicker in motion. It's up, sent by number 99, and we are underway. The long-awaited football game is finally here, and Riverdale is going to recover the ball at around the 50-yard line. They have some good field possession to start off the game on the offense. It's now time to take a look at your uniforms for these two teams. Let's start with the Lehigh Lightning, wearing their road white jerseys, dark blue numbers on the front and back, gold pants, and dark blue helmets, with the gold L for Lehigh on both sides. We're ready to go for your first play. Daniel Ulmer, your starting quarterback, as usual, is leading the Riverdale offensive line. And here's his snap in the shotgun formation. Gives the handoff down the middle, and he's ripping forward. And Zach Sanders stopped just short of the 40-yard line in Lehigh territory for a very impressive rush on the play. Just barely missed the first down marker, and he was stopped at around the 41 once again for a 9-yard gain. Riverdale, they're sporting their home garnet red jerseys, white numbers on the front and back, white pants and gold helmets with the garnet red Riverdale logo off to the right side. Ulmer's back for the shotgun again as Zach Sanders behind him and a receiver off to both ends. Gives the handoff to Sanders again for his second consecutive rush. He's fighting for control and he's going to be pushed back on the play. As we get the official ruling, it's going to be just enough for a first down. Just underway in Battle of the Bell 2015 between the Riverdale Raiders and the Lehigh Lightning, live from Carl Engel Field at Riverdale High School. It's 0-0. 11:08 to go here, and your first quarter of play as we are just underway. Ulmer's back again for the shotgun. And he's ready to go. 2 receivers to his right side, gives the handoff to Zach Sanders, tearing off down the near side, and he's going to be yanked out at around the 20-yard line for another Raiders first down. Well, Riverdale hoping to draw the first blood here. They're looking very productive with Zach Sanders in that running back position as usual, but he's looking confident out there, and he's coming up with some big yard gainage. Ball at the 20-yard line, and the Riverdale attacking end. Handoff down the middle to Sanders again, and he's going to be pulled at around the 15-yard line for another stoppage. 10:18 now left in your first. Still 0-0. The Riverdale Raiders, they're hoping to end the 2015 regular season on a high note as they face off against their arch rivals, the Lehigh Senior Lightning. It is a packed house on hand at Riverdale High School. Possibly one of the most attended football games in the regular season. Here's a toss to Daniel Malivert. That was impressive, and he's going to get a short yard gain on the play as a flag is going to be pulled by the official here. It's a holding on to Riverdale offense. That's going to drag him back 5 yards. This is going to be one heck of a way to end the 2015 regular season. Both teams, they've had their fair share of hard times throughout the season, but they're going to put the past all behind them. They're hoping to go for the bell tonight. So after being dragged back, the Raiders now take it at the 29-yard line. It looks like that previous penalty may have been a 10-yarder, so it's a 10-yard loss for Riverdale as a result of that penalty. And now there's a rush going to number 4. Actually, that was a quarterback keeper there. Daniel Ulmer, as always, wearing number 4 as the quarterback. Got a little caught off there, but that's what I've been saying all throughout the regular season. He is very good at handling the ball. He definitely is a runner. Very good at faking handoffs, and he really is one talented quarterback as he's in the shotgun again. There's the snap, setting up at the 35, firing off to the near side. It's going to be, is it picked off? Let's see. I'm still waiting here. It looks like that was going to be incomplete. Well, a defenseman bobbled the ball all around. And I wasn't too sure originally if he had the ball or not, but it just was tipped and deflected out of the hands of the wide receiver. Defenseman had his hands on the ball, but he can't haul it in for the interception. Riverdale still has control of the ball. As it's 4th down, they're going to go for the 4th down conversion from the 29 as a Let's Go Raiders chant breaks out over Carl Engel Field. Ulmer back in the shotgun, lets loose, airs it out, and it's incomplete. Too far ahead of the intended receiver, Jacob Tracy, just tearing his way down the near side, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. So after an unsuccessful opening offensive drive for the Riverdale Raiders, the Lehigh Senior Lightning offense is going to come out as they hope to draw first blood. 8:41 remaining in your first. Scoreless in the Battle of the Bell contest. Lehigh is going to break the snap as they take the ball. On their own side of the field, Lehigh is moving from left to right across your computer screen. Raiders moving from right to left. And your first half of play. Here's a handoff in the shotgun formation. On the carry was Jelaine Nelson, but a very short gain of about 2 yards on the play. Carrying the ball up the middle, and he was stopped. And as we head into this evening's contest, let's take a look at your game time weather. Here at Riverdale High School in Fort Myers, Florida, we have a cool evening as the temperature is at 79 degrees, 0% chance of precipitation, wind is blowing east at 3 miles per hour, and the southwest Florida humidity is at 73%. Shotgun snap by your starting quarterback, who we will tell you in just a moment, gives another handoff to number 7. He's caught in the eye of the storm for another short gain on the play. It's 3rd down. Starting quarterback for Lehigh tonight, it's going to be number 9. I'll try to get his name in here really quick. It's going to be Shaim Jax Lewis. As he's going to take the snap on display, moving left, makes the pass deep down the sidelines, and that's going to go incomplete. So now the Lehigh Senior Lightning cannot convert, as it's a 3-and-out for them on their opening offensive drive of the ball game. 7:31 is left in your first. 0-0 your score between the Raiders and the Lightning. Ball still on the 32-yard line. Lehigh in their own zone. They're going to go for the punt here. And here it comes. Punter awaits a snap at the 20. Sends it up. High line drive. That was nearly blocked there on the play. And that's going to wobble its way all the way down the near side. And it's going to be taken up by Lehigh. But Riverdale will get back on the offensive drive there. And they made it all the way into the Lehigh side of the field, but they could not convert. Took the ball at around the 30 off of a fourth down conversion, but they couldn't make things work out. They turned over the ball on downs. And now Lehigh has the 3 and out, 7:19 left in your first, 0-0 your score. We'll take a quick break and come back with more high school football action on the Rush Radio Network. We return to Riverdale sports action on the Rush Radio Network as it's a nice drive down the field, far side, and he's stopped at the 40-yard line. And it's Zach Sanders again. He's coming up very impressive. And you do have to remember there was a flag on the play, but nice handoff there by Zach Sanders. He was just tearing his way down the near side and between defensemen. There's a little bit of a debate going on between your officials, and we'll get to the bottom of this in just a moment. It's going to go against the Raiders. It's another holding call. And we'll try it again. This time that'll drag them back to their own 20-yard line. Very festive night. Fans packed in at Carl Engel Field once again for this final game of the regular season for the Riverdale Raiders. Ulmer's back in the shotgun, and he has been for this entire game thus far. Goes for the rush again to Sanders, trying to juke his way past the defenseman off to the near side, and he's going to skip his way out of bounds in front of the Riverdale benches. Right now, 6 minutes and a half is left in your first quarter of play. That rush is going to be enough for a first down. Raiders still hoping to draw first blood in the contest.
Are we like a really weird angle?
Ulmer waving men around the offensive line here as they tried to dig their way out of their own side of the field. Here's your handoff to Sanders again. He's going to be stopped right on the line of scrimmage and brought right down. There's also a nice crowd on the visiting side as well. The visiting fan section is packed full of Lehigh fans, some of them making the short trip over to Riverdale to see their team fight for the bell. Ball at the 25. Ulmer is back and ready to go. Man in motion, Daniel Maliver from right to left. Gives the handoff, up the middle he goes, and he's going to be stopped. There's a fumble and a big scramble on the play. And let's see who it's going to go to. There are still players trying to scramble for the ball. And it looks like Riverdale is going to keep the ball here. No line change going on, so Riverdale still managed to hold on the ball. On the carry there was Quantavius Brown. He was called up from the freshman team straight to varsity to end the regular season schedule. And he filled in for that running back spot as well. And last week's game versus Westminster, he brought in Riverdale's only touchdown that game. And the last minute of the competition, Riverdale taking it from their own 28. 0-0 in your first quarter of play. 5:18 left on your clock. There's the snap to Ulmer, back in the gun, gives the handoff right down the center, and that ball carrier is going to be tackled, and it's now 4th down Raiders. Most likely we will be seeing a punt here for the Raiders. I mean, they're deep in their own zone, and that time they just couldn't seem to get any type of magic working. We have the line change going on for the Raiders here. As they prepare for this next play, men are still scrambling around the offensive line. As you have the punter go back. That's going to be Dante Quintella. Makes the snap, sends it high, flying in the air. Nice spiral as it drops down at the 40, bounces around the 30 and the Lehigh end, and it goes tumbling out of play up against the Lehigh sidelines. So now 4:21 is remaining in your opening quarter, and Lehigh is going to go on their second offensive drive of the ball game. Riverdale going 0 for 2 on their offensive drives, first with a turnover on downs, and now you add that 3 and out. Lehigh also had a 3 and out back on their opening offensive drive. Both teams putting up some nice pressure on the defense. And in just one moment, we're going to tell you about the two coaches to these teams. Lehigh, they're still getting their players assembled out on the field. We'll have play beginning in just a moment. The coach for the Lehigh Lightning is James Cheney. He's wrapping up his debut season as a head coach of the Lehigh Lightning. Cheney played football with the North Fort Myers program back when he attended high school, and he went on to play as a defensive tackle at Florida State University. Overall, he is the 7th head coach that the Lehigh football team has had in its history. Quarterback rolling out to the right side. He jukes past the defenseman and he's shoved at the 35-yard line. Getting a short gain of about 2 on the play. And that quarterback is going to be number 9, Shockey Jacques Louis. Had a little confusion a few moments ago, but yes, it is going to be Shockey Jacques Louis, and as your starting quarterback for the Lehigh Lightning. Here's your handoff in the shotgun formation right down the middle. On the carry is Jalen Nelson. He is going to be hauled down just short of your first down marker, and that's going to be a 3rd down on the play. Either team's able to score for those just tuning in. 3:20 on the clock for your quarter number 1. Shotgun formation for Jacques Louis. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right, and a man to his back. He's back in the gun. Takes the snap and the handoff down the middle, and he is going to take a humongous hit. He's still trying to haul his way forward. Did he have enough on the play? They're moving the chains, and that's a 1st down Lightning. So that was a very nice tackle by Riverdale defense, but that ball carrier just managed to stretch his arms further and get that ball past the 1st down marker for the 1st down. The rock is now laid down at the 45-yard line. Lehigh battling it out of their own zone. Jacques Louis all by himself back, sends the man in motion, number 12 from right to left. He's going to be on the ball carry, and now a flag is on the play after he received a huge hit on the play. You could hear the crowd's reaction after that. And now it looks like there's a Riverdale player down. Yes, there is. And now you're going to have the trainers come out. Well, it's been a very hard-hitting game thus far here for Battle of the Bell, as the Riverdale players on the bench are going to take a knee. 2:24 left in your first. 0-0. We'll take a quick break and get things settled out on the field. More football action to come right after this on the Rush Radio Network. We now return to high school sports on the Rush Radio Network as we now have gone things settled out on the field. It was Daniel Malver who was down for Riverdale on the defense, a little shaken up after a big hit. But Lehigh will proceed with their offensive drive. At around the 35 of their own zone, Jacques Louis fires down the middle and it's caught. This is going down the field to the 20. He's going to be brought down by a Riverdale defenseman. But still, that was a very impressive play coming from number 8, Russell Brown. Able to just get himself open and cruise right down the middle. It was an easy target for Shocky Jacques Louis. Pitch and catch, and he brings it all the way to the Raiders' 20-yard line. Jacques Louis now back in the shotgun, racing out to his right side, fires forward. It's picked off. Was he in bounds, though? He was. Oh, my goodness. Jacob Tracy coming up with an extremely clutched play at around the 10-yard line, leaping his way out in front of a Lehigh receiver, keeping his feet in bounds for the INT, and the offensive line will come out once again for the Raiders. The only bad thing is they're going to have to work themselves deep out of their own zone. 1:56 frozen on the clock. Neither team's able to come up with a score. Ulmer's back in the shotgun. Takes the snap and the handoff down the middle. That's a nice carry on the play across the 15. To Zach Sanders. And he's been very agile and quick on his feet here in your first quarter of play. We've seen him come up with some very nice gains on the play in the running back position. Ball just at around the 16, Raiders in their own side of the field. Ulmer's back, gives the handoff across the 20, 25, and Sanders coming up with the Raiders' first down. Ball at the 25, they're now going to rule it. Well, we told you about Coach James Chaney just moments ago for the Lehigh Lightning. On the other side for Riverdale, we have Coach Damon Jones, as always. He's wrapping up his second season as the head coach of the Riverdale Raiders football program. Ulmer's in the back. Waves number 15 in motion from right to left. Sets up at the 15. Dodges his way out of the defenseman, but he's going to be sacked. Oh, that time there is no way out of the play for Ulmer. He was being cornered in between two Lehigh defensemen, and he pays the price for that one. He just didn't have enough time at all to throw away that ball. He was going to be dropped down at the 18 for the loss on the play. Coach Jones last season led the Riverdale team to a 5-5 win-loss record. That was his debut season with Riverdale. Clock ticking down to 10 seconds. Let's see what Riverdale's choice is going to be here. Run down the clock or one more play. And that's going to do it for your first quarter of play. They decide to sit on the ball. At the end of one quarter of play, it's 0-0. It's been a quarter where defenses have ruled. Let's see what the second quarter brings us. We'll find out after this break on the Rush Radio Network. We continue more football action on the Rush Radio Network. And to a new quarter of play, it's your second quarter, and it's 0-0 between the Riverdale Raiders and the Lehigh Senior Lightning in this Battle of the Bell contest of 2015. Thank you for joining us once again for this great contest. Lots of defense back and forth in the first quarter. Let's see if one of these teams can draw first blood here. Before we head into halftime, Ulmer's back in the shotgun as we resume this Riverdale offensive drive. And that ball carrier is going to be stopped at around the first down marker. Let's wait for the ruling. It's Zach Sanders with another impressive carry And that's going to be a first down. And with this new quarter of play, the Riverdale Raiders will be moving from left to right across your computer screen. The Lehigh Lightning will move from right to left. Sanders was tackled at the 36. Raiders on their own side of the field. Just underway once more in your second. Handoff to Sanders. And that's going to be a nice carry out to around the 40-yard line before he was shoved back a few, trying to carry it down the middle. It's now time to take a look at your Class 7A District 12 standings. The Gulf Coast Sharks and the South Fort Myers Wolfpack are neck to neck as they both attempt to earn the first place spot in Class 7A District 12. Gulf Coast holds a 7-3 win-loss record, while South Fort Myers is 7-2. Both schools have clinched a playoff berth to end the regular season, but they sure would like to take the top spot in the division for additional bragging rights. Ulmer's back again. Sanders to his left. Takes the snap and the screen to the right side. He's going to find Deshaun Lane at the 45-50, rolling around off to the far side, and he's tackled in front of the Raider benches. And that's Deshaun Lane once again coming up with a nice screen pass off to the right side to Daniel Ulmer. And he was tackled out of bounds just trying to maneuver himself in between two defensemen. Well, Riverdale is stuck at the bottom with a 3-6 record, so you can bet the Raiders are going to leave it all out on the field tonight as they want to end the season on a high note by winning Battle of the Bell 2015. There's been a lot of anticipation for this ball game all week long here at RHS. Sanders is going to be up as a receiver on this play. Malivert was in motion from right to left as Ulmer executed a very nice fake handoff and the quarterback keeper up the middle across the 50-yard line. And it looks like a very short gain of any on the play. Ball is laid down at the 48. Raiders now invading enemy territory. 10 minutes left to go until halftime from Carl Engel Field. No touchdowns, field goals, no scoring just yet. It sure is building a lot of anticipation all throughout the stadium, I'll tell you that. Ulmer back, rolls out to the 45, off of the shotgun, finds Deshaun Lane at around the 40, and he takes a late hit, and they're going to get a flag on the play. Deshaun Lane, you can tell he really wanted that penalty. It was just a late hit on him after he rolled in his second reception of the drive. And it's a personal foul going against Lehigh Senior. And let's move the chains for the Riverdale Raiders offense. That's going to make it first down. Ball at the 28 for the Raiders as that personal foul call brought Riverdale deep into the enemy zone. They have a little bit of momentum to build off of now, but a timeout is going to be called, a stoppage. Let's see how that goes. Right after another quick break on the Rush Radio Network. 9:36 left in your first half of play. 0-0 your score. We resume high school football action on the Rush Radio Network. 0-0 your score between the Raiders and the Lightning. 9:36 left in your first half of play. Handoff up the middle, and now there's a little bit of confusion as a ball carrier for Lehigh picked it off, and he's running all the way to the end zone. Is that a touchdown? It is! You have got to be kidding me. Unbelievable play, very controversial, and many fans don't approve of that. That's just shocking. There was a handoff down the middle, and as you can imagine, Coach Damon Jones for Riverdale, he is going nuts right now. But that was crazy. It was a handoff down the middle, and there was a big scram of players, and the next thing you know, you see number 18, Jeff Augustine for Lehigh, chugging down the field with the ball in his hands, and he didn't stop either. And then next thing you know, official puts his hands up for a touchdown, or Now the officials are coming together, so we're not too sure on what the official ruling is, but I'm not too sure about that myself. I didn't have the best of views on the play, but all I can tell you is it was a big pile of players. And then all of a sudden, you have Jeff Augustine just cruising down the middle of the field. Of course, that doesn't help much, but these officials are going to do the best they can to make the best judgment call in this situation. Let's see what it's going to be. So that's going to be reversed as we get your final decision. All right, Raider fans, take a deep breath. That's a very nerve-wracking play. If that stood, Lehigh could have gone on the board first. Like I said, very close play. Officials had to come down to their best judgment call, and it's 1st and 10 Raiders. The official put down the ball at the 38 and the Lehigh side of the field, but all right, now there's some confusion. Okay. Let me get that sorted out for you in just a moment, because that was very confusing indeed. Okay. So here's a shotgun snap handoff down the middle. Lehigh has the ball out of all of this. That's a handoff to number 24, Chris Curry. So that was just a whole lot of madness. One moment fans are bursting into applause, and there is just a whole lot to think about there. So it turns out that was not a touchdown for Lehigh, but they get the ball. So that must mean there was a flag on the play when Lehigh ran into the end zone. So the Lightning get the ball off the fumble, but the touchdown will not count. I was very confused, and many fans are still confused here at Carl Angle Field as Jacques Louis runs out to his right side, just trying to find a man open on the Lightning offensive line, and he's going to be brought out at around 35. It's already 3rd down for Lehigh, but still a very controversial call indeed. So once again, it could have been a scoop and score for Lehigh. Penalty brought back the touchdown, but Lehigh does get the turnover. So I'm just glad we got that all figured out. A lot of controversy indeed to go around here in Battle of the Bell. Jacques back in the shotgun. Gives the handoff to a man rolling out to his left side. And he just got hit. Laid out, and on the carry was Chris Curry once more. For the 4th down, it was a loss on the play. Quantavious Brown coming up with the tackle. And as a result of that, 4th down, Lehigh will take the ball, and they're going to punt it away from their own 30-yard line, just about. Punter awaiting to kick at the 15. That kick is up. It's end over end. Going across the 45, 40. Raiders trying to let that ball bounce as much as possible. Picked up by a Lehigh player, number 12, at around the 35. So the Raiders weren't too happy with that controversial call just moments ago. But they get the 3 and out on the defense. Another great push. That was 7:34 left in your second quarter of play. It's still scoreless as the Raider offense comes back on out. I can already tell you this game is going to be tense all 4 quarters through. Ulmer's in the back. Sending a man in motion out in front from right to left. Sets up at the 30. Ulmer deep down the near side. Diving was the intended receiver, Jacob Tracy. And the pass was just too far up. And it goes incomplete over a diving Jacob Tracy. Down the near side he went. So they'll try again, 2nd and 10. Raiders at their own 36, yes. Ulmer's ready to go here as he sets up for the snap. And the gun, handoff to Sanders. He gets tangled up with a few players and he's brought back for a brief loss on the play. It's now time to talk about Class 6A District 11, the division of the Lehigh Senior Lightning. First are the Fort Myers Green Wave, who are 7 wins and 2 losses. They are dominating this division, let me tell you that. Estero Wildcats and the Lehigh Lightning very close to the number 2 place spot. Estero is second with a 3-6 record. Third are the Lehigh Lightning, 2-6. And fourth are the East Lee Jaguars, who are 1-7. Yikes, it has not been a very good 2015 year for that football team. Setting up as a screen to the right side. And that's going to be Jaquez Dickerson. Just grabbing in the reception. And now we're trying to see if that was a complete call or not. It's 4th down. They're going to lay the ball around the same spot, so we can only assume that was incomplete. I do believe that Dickerson did have reception on the play, or control the ball, rather. It was all a matter of, did he stay in bounds? Punt is up by Quintella, and it's blocked. Oh my goodness. It's scooped up by number 25. He has a hard time grounding it. He's making his way down the near side, and he's going to be stopped short of the goal line. But that is an extremely disappointing play, and that's going to fire up the Lehigh offense, which is a few simple yards. They can do some damage. Well, Dante Quintella set up for the punt, and a Lehigh senior defenseman was able to get a finger on it there, get his hand on it, and that just sent it straight in the air, scooped up by number 25, Chris Matthews, and he was stopped at around the 5. So Lehigh deep in the Raider end, and they can draw first blood right here if they want to. 6:11 left in your second. Timeout's going to be called by Riverdale here. They have some work to do. Lehigh, they're threatening. We'll see if they can do it right here after this. 6:11 left in your second quarter of play. 0-0 your scores. We get back to Battle of the Bell action. Lehigh has the ball on the offense right about the Raiders' 5-yard line. And we have a correction. That previous timeout before the break was made by Lehigh and not Riverdale, so I apologize for that miscommunication. Number 7 comes up with what looked like a Wildcat formation type play for Lehigh. And on the carry was Jelaine Nelson. He took the snap and raced off to his right side. And he was tackled for the stop. That's going to make it 2nd and goal. Well, this was all a series of misfortunes for the Raiders. It was a block punt by Dante Quintella. Lehigh senior scooped up the block punt and brought it all the way to around the 5-yard line. And that's going to be another stop, another carry by Jelaine Nelson for the 3rd down. Well, the Raiders' defense, they've been looking very solid all night long here. But the Raiders' offense, needless to say, they just need to cut back on those turnovers because they are a killer in both the outcome of the game and the momentum. 3rd and goal. Lehigh hoping to hop out in front and open up the scoring of the ball game. It's going to be Jelaine Nelson once more back to receive the snap. Gives the handoff. He's going to be brought down. It's another 3-and-out for the Raider defense. But it's very easy for Lehigh to just take a field goal and get that 3-0 lead. But let's wait for the calling here. Let's see what they're going to do at around the Raiders' 5. Very close to the goal line to go for Three straight, rush plays, but they can't get anything going there. So what are they going to do here? They're going to go for it? Oh my goodness, they are. Oh, this is something risky. Let's see how it goes. They have to go right to the end zone. And is he stopped? He's still on the loose. Throws it away. And it's going to be caught. Let's see. No good. Oh my goodness, what a comeback by the Raider defense. It's still scoreless. That was such an unbelievable play. Lehigh starts the offensive drive at the Raiders' 5 yards away from a touchdown. They get the 3-and-out, go for the 4th-down conversion, and they can't get anything going there. There was a pass coming from Jelaine Nelson. He was just dashing all around with the ball in his hands, just yanked it forward at an intended receiver, but it was incomplete, out of play, and that keeps our score at 0-0. Like I said, this defense has just came in. It's been unbelievable. 3:54 left in your second quarter. And the Raiders march back deep in their own zone as they hope to open a successful offensive drive. They're just trying to get on the board before we go to halftime. Defense for Lehigh is shifting around, trying to find their spots. It's shotgun formation for the Raiders offense. Oh, this is just getting tense by each play. Handoff to Sanders, and he is going to be laid out for a gain of approximately 5 yards for the second down. Let's talk a little bit about Lehigh Senior High School. It is a public learning institution out of Lehigh Acres, which is just approximately a 10-minute drive away from Riverdale. The school has an enrollment of 2,167 students, and it is known as the Center of the Arts. Here's Ulmer back again for the shotgun. He has been for almost the entire game. Sets up, and he's going to run off with the ball. Dashes back past the defenseman, and he is going to be yanked out in front of the Lehigh benches for a Riverdale first down. That's going to put in some closure for the Raiders, just give them a little bit of a deep breath as they move out of their own zone just a little bit more, and they have the first down. However, it is, let me reword that, Lehigh Senior has also been attended by multiple pro football players. For instance, Philip Buchanan and Mario Henderson both reached the NFL after playing with Lehigh's football program. Ulmer, and this is a fake play, and rushing down the middle was Sanders on the play. And that's going to be a Riverdale first down, coming down to 2 minutes and 52 seconds. 0-0 is your score. Well, Philip Buchanan formerly played football with the University of Miami. He was drafted by the Oakland Raiders, 17th overall in the 2002 NFL Draft. More about Buchanan in just a quick moment, and we're going to have a penalty going against the Lehigh defense. It's an encroachment going against the Lehigh defense. You saw their men shifting forwards. That's going to be a 5-yard gain for the Raiders. At the 38, they will take the ball. 2:30 and running on the first half clock. Ulmer is looking out. He's going to give the handoff to Sanders, racing out to his left side, and he is going to be sprawled out across the 45-yard line for what should be a Raiders first down. And there it is, a gain of 5 for Zach Sanders. Well, Philip Buchanan has also played with NFL teams like the Houston Texans, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Detroit Lions, and the Washington Redskins. It's now taken at the 44. Raiders in their own territory, hoping to score first before halftime once more. Here's Sanders. He's really taking control of the ball in his first half of play for the Raiders as he marches his way across the 50-yard line, getting shoved out to play for the second down. Mario Henderson began his high school career with Bishop Verreau in Fort Myers, where he played his first season of football in his sophomore year. He transferred to Lehigh as a junior, but due to transfer rules, Henderson could not play football that year. Anyhow, in his senior year playing for the Lightning, he came up with some big news. Ulmer sets up at the 45, going deep down the middle, and it's going to be caught by Jacob Tracy across the 20, up against the far side. Ulmer to Jacob Tracy once again. And is that a flag on the play? This is going to be a real momentum killer for Riverdale if they bring this back. It's a holding going against the Raider offense. And that nice play is going to be erased by Jacob Tracy. Holding call once again going against the Raider offense. And they'll bring them back in their own zone at the 35. Well, Mario Henderson, in his senior year playing for the Lightning, he earned a football scholarship to Florida State University in Tallahassee. In his pro career, Mario played his first 4 seasons with the Oakland Raiders as a left tackle, and he is currently competing as an offensive tackle for the Tampa Bay Storm of the Arena Football League. Ulmer races his way past the defenseman, throws to Tracy across the 40, 45, and he's going to be pulled out of play at around the 45 up against the Raider benches. 51.1 now frozen on the clock. Neither team's coming up just yet on the score. So as you can see, Lehigh Senior, they had quite a few players who really came up big in their football careers. Ulmer awaits to snap at the 40 in the shotgun, sending his men around. Sends a man in motion from left to right. That's Jacob Tracy. Sets up at the 40. Short pass, bobbled, but it's going to be caught again by Daniel Maliver, and he's going to be tackled just about a yard short of the marker. That's going to make it 4th down for the Raiders offense. Clock now rolling, and it's going to be stopped at 45.2. So the Raiders originally had something going, but a big holding call dragged them all the way back about 15 yards into their own zone. Now at the 44, they are in a 4th down conversion, and there's going to be a stoppage. Here's the Raiders go to the benches.
Okay, I'm working on it.
And now Lehigh is going to head back to the bench. All right, now we got things going. Both teams now coming back out after the Raiders reassess the situation off of a timeout. They're now going to reset the clock at the 35, and they'll keep it rolling now. And now this is going to be a timeout against Lehigh. A lot of breaks, a lot of confusion as we come to a close here in your first half. 31.9 left. 0 for Riverdale, 0 for Lehigh. So we are going to take a step away ourselves, and we'll come back with more action on The Rush Radio Network. 31.9 left on your second quarter clock as we are scoreless between the Riverdale Raiders and the Lehigh Lightning. Raiders have the ball off of a 4th down, returning into the game off of a timeout from Lehigh. They'll punt the ball away by Dante Quintella. Kick is up, sends it far across the 25. That ball is going to be called off by number 9, who catches it off the fly. And he is going to call it off, so Lehigh will take the ball at their own 25. And with a coincidence, 25 seconds total left on the clock. It's been very intense here in Battle of the Bell 2015. Riverdale winding down the 2015 regular season schedule, hoping for the big win against Lehigh to keep the Bell in their school's territory. Once again, they've held it for 3 consecutive years. Handoff down the middle for the first down. Number 7 on a roll up against the sidelines. He is shoved out at around the 50-yard line. On the big carry was Jelaine Nelson. We've seen him all first half. 16.4 left on the clock, and it's frozen. Nelson really did a great job there, running down for the big gain, but also stepping out of the play to freeze that clock up. The rock is put down at the 47. Lehigh still in their own zone. Jacques Louis, the quarterback, is back in the shotgun. At the 40, rolling out to his left side. He's going to run it. Yes, he is. It's a quarterback keeper, and he's yanked down for the stop at the 45. Energy coming up again as usual for the Riverdale defense. Clock going to roll out. And that's going to do it for your first half of play. It is still 0-0 at Battle of the Bell 2015. It's been one heck of a first half. It's a game where the defenses have ruled. I can't wait to see what happens in your second half of play when we have our winner ruled. Please step aside. We'll take a break and come back with more football action on the Rush Radio Network. Once again, it's scoreless at halftime from Carl Engel Field at Riverdale High School.